Okay. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Sorry about the technical difficulties. It only took 4 minutes to fix it. But we're live on both streams, I believe. Can y'all confirm we good to go here? On the short stream. It's weird because this one was able to continue the chat. The other one wasn't. Okay. Give me 1 second. I gotta redo all this. Ugh. Yeah, YouTube and Google not paying the bills on time. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so let me... chat. Live chat. Shorts. Get you guys up there. Get the chat commenter. Okay, test. People watching the short stream, let me know if you guys can hear me. And okay, yes, it works. Perfect. And then I can pull up your comments. All right. That was a bit frustrating. It was weird because YouTube said I was ready to go to stream. And then last moment, it poops on me. Okay. Let me get caught up on chat. First in the chat was staying 2007. Craig Lilly, as always. What is up, y'all? James Ray is back in the house. We got Extreme Zone as always. Ivan Lee, hello. KL130. We got a lot of the usuals. We got Jimmy C. We got Logan, Donut Farmer. Chase Atwood. We got Snipes in the shorts chat. We got Ivan Lee over there as well. Robert Fixit. What up? Okay, give me 1 second. Man. So I'm in the middle of benchmarking a system right now. And I really need to finish this last round on Diablo 4. Because... when because I need to swap graphics cards, so I'm done testing one graphics card in this system, and when I swap the graphics card to a different one, half the benchmarks want to recompile shaders, which if y'all ever had to experience that in games like Call of Duty, Hogwarts Legacy, Halo does it, Last of Us does it. If y'all ever sat through shader compilation, especially when you have older, weaker hardware, you know it could take a long time. Oh yeah, Forza Horizon does it. I swear, half of my benchmarking suite and almost every new game that comes out nowadays, they need to recompile shaders if you update the drivers or if you change your hardware out. So, only with Dead Space 2. Do I support furries? I mean, I'm pretty indifferent to furries. I don't hate them, but I don't particularly, like, love them, if that makes sense. If furries are happy and aren't bothering people, I have no issues. So let's just say that. What up, Melvin OG? First time catching the stream. Nice. Glad to see you here. What up, Nathan Tasker Force in the house? House of Foot says Sean. Sean, I've been keeping my roller skating membership since I haven't canceled it, but I haven't been able to skate since the end of June. So it's been 3 months. But I think I'm gonna either start going. I think next week. I can't run or jog, but I can put weight on my foot now. So we'll see how I do. But yeah. Have you been back at Bowl and Skate recently? Because I know you live up, or you go to the north one, so. R-Flat with the tech news, not tech drama. Tech drama, there was some hardware influencers that said he bought a non-working video card and got ghosted. But I can't remember who he was. That, honestly... that wasn't really news or drama. It worked out so well that I went to PC Recycle and found a cool shop. Don is the manager, who is also a paranormal, quote unquote. I don't think he likes being called ghost hunter. but paranormal researcher, I guess, is what he goes by. Yeah. You went last Thursday? Yeah, I'm trying to go maybe next Monday or Wednesday after next stream. Yeah. And we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It might be because of the, the ankle mobility. When I'm walking, it's not like I'm going left and right a bunch. And I still have a little bit of a limp. So we'll see how I feel on skates. But yeah. Yes, I did watch, after he told me that, because the day I was there, the next day, the Netflix episode released. So then I watched it, and it was very interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I would like to see some of the things that were shown in the footage in person, obviously. Like him being able to tell what image was in the envelope, or when he was holding those rods, how they were just moving, even though they were in the glass tubes, without any, like, magnets and stuff nearby. But obviously, he can't prove that to everybody, so... And I think one of the things with people who are either, spiritual, or religious, things like that, I don't think it's a good idea to ask them to prove it to you in front of your face type of thing, One, I think it's kind of rude, but two, it's one of those things where I think a lot of times it's just it is not an on-demand thing. It comes and goes. I'm not saying I necessarily believe in all that stuff, but it was interesting enough where it was able to get a Netflix episode on a series like Unsolved Mysteries, and there was some video footage and other people claiming. Now, they could be in on it, whatever. I don't know. It's too much to unravel there, but it was very interesting. Some of those deals... Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at some of the deals on this Prime Day. The second Prime Day. Or this is the third Prime Day. Did we have three Prime... Not Prime Day. Did we have 3 Prime Day deals this year? So the July one is what started it years ago. And then they added... I think they added the second one in the October-ish time frame a couple of years ago. But then, did we have one earlier in the year, around April or May? Or am I thinking wrong? You asking him to prove that he's a ghost hunter or a paranormal researcher would be like someone asking you to troubleshoot their PC, lol. Well, I don't think that's the same equivalency, because if someone asks me to troubleshoot their PC, I mean, I can do it, or at least I can try to do it on the spot. But I guess if you're saying if I'm not able to troubleshoot it, then it would be like him not being able to prove that the ghosts or whatever are real. Yeah. And yeah, it's very interesting for sure. Those are dowsing rods, and those are used a lot for finding locations to dig water wells. Yeah, I was confusing that with also, what's it called? Like a tuning fork, but I don't know how dowsing rods work, but I'm assuming it has to do something with, like, magnetism, right? Like, how else would they be moving? And I'm guessing how would water wells be able to move them, or at least get them to show their direction? Because if we're talking about metal contents that might be, the cause of it, then wouldn't just the ground and rocks and stuff and all that have it? Yeah, I need to do some more research on that. But obviously, there are some people in the comments who called him a grifter, which I thought was interesting. Because if you watch the episode on Netflix with Dawn, it showed even like news footage of the haunted house here in Washington, which is how I think he ended up here in Washington. He came over to investigate a house, and then the person who wanted the house investigated, because there was like spirits, like basically tearing up the house. If you watch the Netflix episode, it shows footage, and then it cuts to like some news footage showing stuff like that too. That person eventually ended up saying, okay, this is too much. Like they abandoned or sold the house or whatever, and then they never solved that paranormal thing. But yeah, either way, regardless of all that, Don was a really, really nice person. He's got that quick, witty British humor, as you can see in the video. But yeah. I don't know how they work, but I see a lot of old people in Mexico using them to find water. Yeah, I need to look that up. It's interesting. Was that the guy you bought the RX 580 from? Yeah. Don, the ghost hunter paranormal researcher, who turned out to be that, or was that before working at PC Recycle. Yeah. He's the one that I bought the power supply SSD and graphics card from. Did I get the new Dragon Ball game? No. The last Dragon Ball game I put any hours into extensively was the original Budokai. Back in, what year was that? Like 2005 or 6 or 7, around there. When I was still in high school at the time. But no, not really. Right now, I'm putting a lot of hours into Throne and Liberty, surprisingly. I thought Throne and Liberty was gonna be like a pretty bad game, but I've sunk so many hours into it so far, and I'm playing free to play, so I'm not swiping, I'm not doing the cash shop stuff, and I'm able to do all the more end game content so far. So yeah, Throne and Liberty in terms of MMOs, it does so many things right, but then it's so backwards in so many other respects compared to things like WoW, Guild Wars, and Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, can I sing Britney Spears? No, I'm not gonna sing Britney Spears. What's up, Killer NSYNC? Is the RX 580 haunted? No hauntings so far. Though, here's one thing if you notice from the video. We can go to it actually. Nerd on a budget. If we go to the video, so if you guys know about what's going on with Dawn and stuff. There's this part when I was buying the SSD from him. We can watch it here.
Yep. 500 gig.
Yeah. Like, look, see.
For $22.
22 bucks? Was that Becky telling him how much to charge me for the SSD potentially? If you guys watch the Netflix series, you would know what I'm referencing. Because Don has like a spirit named Becky that helps him solve paranormal cases and stuff like that. But the way that he paused and looked at me for a bit to determine the price, it could be that, it could be nothing, but I don't know. Bro's using an ad blocker on his own video. Well, so the thing is, I'm not logged in right now.
I think that's fair.
But I have YouTube Premium anyways, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's just because I'm an incognito, not logged in. If I had, when YouTube Premium's on, I don't get any ads anyways. So I use ad blocker for other websites. I don't need it for YouTube. He was looking deeply into my soul, indeed. Almost every RX 580 is haunted. I always have issues with them. I actually have... So, I have an RX 580 in this system right here. It was an older one that I picked up from the other old guy. Remember when I picked up the GTX 960 and RX 580? The Sapphire Nitro one? That's what's in here right now. I did test extensively the one that I picked up from Don, the XFX one. But for this build, I'm using the other one. And, man... Diablo's just sitting there waiting to get benchmark so that I could swap out my a different card, but I think I'm just gonna have to deal with it and stay up late tonight to do all that. So Premium Flex, not really a flex. I share YouTube Premium with Jason Whitmer, who's one of my buddies and like a mod in the chat and a fellow content creator, and I forget how much I pay him a year, but it works out to be very little per month. Let me see. Like, it is well worth it. you guys got to consider, I'm not trying to like show for YouTube, or I'm not trying to like put more money in my pockets because I'm a content creator. But you just got to consider how much money you pay for other services like Netflix or Hulu or whatever the heck you pay for, Disney Plus or Amazon Prime. How much do you watch YouTube, especially on your phone? I guess you can get ad blockers on your phone. So people probably don't want to pay for YouTube Premium on desktop because they can just get ad blocker and it's whatever. YouTube's trying to combat that. We don't know if they'll win or not, but whatever. So, okay, get your free YouTube without ads because it's very easy to do. On your phone, it's a little bit more of a pain to do, but I think it's still possible. I don't have to bother with that because I have premium, and on the phone that also gets rid of the ads. But I don't know. It's just you pay for a lot of different subscriptions and things in life. I feel like YouTube, especially me being a content creator, but even without that, I consume more content on YouTube than I do on any other like streaming service. I probably use YouTube more than I do any subscription service, not just streaming, but like Amazon Prime. Nah, actually, maybe it's tied with Prime because I do buy a lot and ship through Prime. So yeah. It's also nice on the phone. Yes, there are more features, and again, I'm not trying to show, but some people don't know. I think one of the biggest things too is being able to either minimize YouTube or sleep your phone and still have the audio playing. I use that feature a lot, and I think before I had premium, I could not do that. But like when I'm mowing the lawn or like doing yard work and stuff like that, I'm not watching a video, I'm just listening to like a YouTube video. So I lock my phone and it just keeps playing. So I do get benefits out of it, and it's cheap enough that I think it's well worth it. But alright, we've been talking for 20 minutes somehow with some technical difficulties at the beginning. But today is day 2 of October Prime Day deals. So let's go over to the browser scene. There's hacks to that. Yes, there are definitely hacks to it, but I think depending on your phone, the hacks may be easier or harder to do. Plus, I've gotten to the point where I just use my phone as a phone. Like, I used to root my phones or jailbreak when I had iPhone and do all that stuff. Now, I just use the phone as is stock. Like, I'm over that. I don't want to spend time tinkering around, potentially, like, messing something up, having to constantly, what's it called, reboot, not reboot, but, like, reset the phone and things like that. Okay, so Prime Day deals. Where are the categories? Prime Day big deals. Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. Because I don't want to dox myself, but if I have to be logged in to see the deals, then let me... Give me 1 second. Let me make sure my address isn't anywhere around here when I click on an item. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. So as long as I don't go to checkout. Alright, so let's take a look here. Why is this so dim? Okay, it's because my monitor is set to HDR mode. Yeah, see, when I put the window on a different screen, it's nice and bright. Dang it! Let me change this. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now it should be nice and bright for y'all. Okay. Robert Fixit said, I don't think it's Prime Day deal, but Thermaltake Smart 600 watts made a sale for $40 last week. That's how much the 500 watt normally is. Yeah, let me see the vetted. Honestly, I'm okay with this power supply. For the price that it is. What's the vetted price? So it's been $40. Like, yeah. See, if we look at the price history here, even over the last 6 months, 40, 45, 45. So it's on barely a sale because it is normally there was like a long period of time where here. Let me zoom in because you guys probably can't see that, but there was a large period of time like all this right here where it's like $40. If it is for the same 600 watt one. And I believe this correctly shows it because if you go to 500 watt, it'll give a let's see if the price history is different. Yeah, price history. Oh, is it the same? No, come on, update. Yeah, so if you click on the 500 watt one, the price history on that's different. See, that one says, yeah, it's a different pricing chart. So they do track the 600 and 500 watt differently. I picked up, I haven't bought one of these for a long time. Last time I bought one was back in 2020, at least brand new. I would totally pick these up used if I can get it for cheaper. This one was on sale actually. Yeah, this one right here. So this was $48. Down from 70. This is tier list wise, this is a C tier, but for you know, it's not modular, which I'm personally fine with. Most cases have power supply basements, but you do get full black cables with it. So, you know, if you're trying to save money on not having to buy extensions as well as not getting ketchup and mustard, and for 650 watts, and for if you care about tier list, again, I'm okay with the smart one, but $40 for what is it, E or F tier smart, or C tier for $8 more plus 60 watts and no ketchup and mustard. I purchased this yesterday. This has been on sale since the beginning of the deals, but I always like to buy budget power supplies to have on hand for when I'm building pretty like not crazy systems for my friends and family or just doing budget builds. Like, I'm not going to shoot for A/B tier power supplies that run upwards of like $70-$80 when I'm building a system that costs like $500-$600. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, C tiers are fine, and for less than $50, I think this is pretty solid. But yeah, either or. When this goes back up in price though to $70 between the two, I think the smart one can be very attractive. So. $6950 XT is on sale. Is that a good price? For $480? I mean, looking at the price history, yo, I love this vetted tool, by the way. Okay, let's see. So this is the lowest it's ever. Let's see, new. No, it's been 500 for a while. 550. Let's look at the. Let's look at the GPU hierarchy. Just to look at the relative performance you get out of that. Let's look at 1440p Ultra, because it's a nice. I wouldn't consider that like a true 4K card, especially with the modern titles today. But let's see. 6950 XT. You're looking at better than a, but the power draw is going to be more than a 7800 XT. So the 7900 GRE. So you're the 6950. You are in between the 7800 XT and 7900 GRE. The 7800 XT. I think those were going for. I saw on Slick Deals actually. So you can get like this one is $460 on Newegg. If you use if you use Affirm 10 and Affirm checkout, which is like the little payment system thing, but you could just pay it off. I did this on a graphics card before. You can get it for $413, which is actually a pretty crazy deal. A tier for $70? No, there's no A. On sale, you might be able to get A tier for $70. I said A, B tier, and spending upwards of like 60, 70, $80. But yeah, I don't think you can get many A tiers unless you're looking at like an A tier 450 or 500 watt, which at that point, I'm not sure it's worth it. Just go for a B or C tier and get like 650, 700. It's not that big of a deal, guys. A tier is if you are building like $1,000+ system where, you know, eating into the budget is okay. When you have a lower budget, don't go too overboard on that. That's like not having that much money and then buying like my Toyota Yaris and then putting like the most expensive racing tires on them or something like that. Buy like the accessories or the, you know, parts for your car that make sense for it. Like it wouldn't make sense for me to buy the most expensive like air filter or whatever, exhaust or whatever the heck you want for my Toyota Yaris because it is a budget car. Can we check out the case that, well, which case did Jason post? Did he post it in the Discord? Price discussion. No, he did not post it here, I don't think. The V-True MO5? Alright, V-True MO5 on, where is it? Amazon is on sale today. $60. With $10 coupon, bringing it down to $50. Okay, what do we got here? Does this actually come with pre-installed in the rear? So they show this image, but it only comes with one fan, it looks like. According to the title, mesh front panel pre-installed in the rear. Yeah, otherwise they would say pre-installed 4 RGB fans. They do have it in white. Yeah, if you want the 3-fan version, ew. Oh god, one of these? So V-True is a budget brand. I don't have any problems with V-True. I do have a problem. Do not get this. Trust me when I say you do not want a remote control to control the lights in your PC. Because if you lose that remote control, you're kind of screwed. You could try to buy a replacement remote control, though I don't think you can search V-True remote control for this hub. You're just gonna have to like guess on AliExpress, you know, and hope the generic controllers on there can do it. But yeah, if you have RGB, you want to be controlling it either via at least not a wireless controller. Get one that's like a physical one that you press a button on it, like the one that I showed in a recent video. And we've talked about it too. Like, you want an RGB controller, kind of like this one right here. Something like this. Because you can never lose this thing. This goes in your system. It connects to the SATA. It connects to your typical 3-pin ARGB header. And you can always open up your side panel to like press whatever color mode you want and be done. But yeah, do not get a wireless remote control. That's just a bad idea. I have these to control my RGB. I have these controllers. Like my RGB lights back here, those 2 bars, they're controlled by this. See, like, I lose that controller literally every day. Yeah. Chris says, I like the ones that you can route your reset button to. Yes, because not many people use reset buttons. So when a case has a built-in controller that lets you do that, I am also a fan of that. Just not a fan of this wireless. But okay, looking at this case, so we're looking at what, $50 because there's a coupon going on right now. I mean, it looks like a solid case. It does have a swinging door handle. I like that a lot. Here, let me link it in case you want to see it for yourself. But, so, yeah, hinges. I wish every case manufacturer would do hinges and magnetic side panel. The popping side panels, those aren't bad either. But, so you get one fan. I wonder what that fan, if it uses, because these look like let me go back to the white one. Like, if it uses these fans, is that a actual fan? Huh. So it looks like the fan does use a standard non-proprietary 3-pin 5-volt ARGB header, which is good because then you could use it to daisy chain with other fans. Because I think you might want to, depending on how cool, what kind of cooling you want to run in your system. I just picked these up, or I didn't just pick them up, but I pick up. Oh, here we go. So I bought this. I bought a few of these actually last year. I still have them on hand. I actually use it in that system sitting behind me. But yeah, look at this, $13. These are always this price. So you add $13 onto this $50 case after the coupon off, and you have a pretty solid, airflow case. I'm not a fan of that diagonal crossbar in the front, but I mean, this case does have good things going for it. Let's look at the back. We can't really tell how much room or how deep that is, but for all your cable management, just shove everything in the hard drive area down here. Yeah, I mean, pretty decent, but I feel like there's a ton of budget cases out there. Like, Weezing says, "What's up? Big fan of your offer-up series. Thanks. Unfortunately, with the weather getting crappier, I do less of the live pickup stuff during the fall and winter, just because it's like colder, wetter, and darker outside. So trying to have someone sit out in the cold, potentially rain, so I could, stick their graphics card into a system and benchmark it for a bit, and having like that conversation. Usually the conversations on the pickup videos are like anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. I just cut it shorter because for the length of the video, and I cut out the stuff where it's like not as relevant. But yeah, I don't think people are trying to do that as much in the winter time as much as they are in the spring and summer. So hopefully I can get a couple more in before we go into like hibernation mode on those. Gaming with Ant-Man. Why am I ignoring my chats? I'm not ignoring anybody's chats. There's like so much chat going on. There's a 4TB M.2 on sale for $199 is what you wanted me to look at. Anyone here running 4TB? Okay. I'm just curious because I personally, my biggest NVMe drive is a 2TB, but I'm curious what the poll would say. I am probably due for a 4TB, but let's see, 4TB NVMe for $200. There it is, the Crucial P3 Plus. Then the Western Digital one is $260. So as you go more premium, Silicon Power has so there's multiple for $200. Here's another Silicon Power. Let me look at the price history though. I'm curious. What are these normally? I wouldn't imagine. Okay, $359 is. Look at this. They say it's down from $359, but let's look at the actual price history. So yeah, normally these float around, it looks like $240-ish. So $240, that's 1/6. What is that percentage wise? Like 18% off? 18, no. It's like 17. That's like 17% off. Not me, but Weez is right. Yeah, if he's a video editor. Yeah, I'm constantly because again, I use my main system for everything. So I do my gaming on it as well as my YouTube work on it. And I have an ITX. So I think I've not seen any micro ATX, or not micro ATX, mini ITX board have 3 NVMe slots. Let me check. Or am I confusing 3 with 4? Like, what do I have in mind right now? Yeah, so my ITX board, which is I forgot what board it is, but it's for my 12700K. It only has 2 NVMe slots, and both of them are populated with 2 terabyte NVMe's. I don't know if there's any ITX boards, any of the newer ones, or if there's even, like, where would you put 3 NVMe drives? A lot of boards do the thing where they have one in the front, one in the back, ITX anyways. With micro and full ATX, you can fit like 2 to 3 in the front easily. But yeah, I could use more storage, but right now I'm just constantly moving stuff onto externals or my NAS. Yeah, I mean, if we look across both YouTube Shorts and normal YouTube, or YouTube Shorts and the normal stream, 83% of the people who did vote says no, they do not have a 4 terabyte SSD or larger. So most people are below that. And I mean, unless you do video editing or just for some reason want to have a ton of games in your, like, available to you, which is a legit reason, right? Some people have data caps. Like for me, if I'm done playing a game, I have gigabit internet, so it's really fast. And I have no data caps, so I can just delete a game, and then in like a week, if I want to play it again, just re-download it, and it takes, 30 minutes or something, and I don't have to worry about going over data caps. But I guess for some people where they are limited, they want games to be available at all times without having to re-download and reinstall, because potentially hitting the data caps, or they just don't want to wait 30 minutes. But yeah, I don't know how many people play. Because there are a number of games that use up a lot of storage space, but I wouldn't say the majority of them do. A lot of games float around anywhere from like 40 to 60 or 70 gigabytes. And then you have, so I saw Fortnite, because I was updating Fortnite and GTA and stuff like that on that system. GTA is over 100 gigs. Call of Duty, I think, is over 100 gigs, unless they did that thing they were talking about to reduce the size. I would have to check. But yeah, Fortnite and GTA are both over 100 gigs, and there are a handful of other games that for one game is 100 gigs. Thoughts on the new 870 boards? We're talking about the Arrow Intel stuff. So those, what were the main things for them besides being like PCIe 5 compatible and stuff like that? But so it is the new Intel processors, 15th gen Arrow Lake, which they're changing the naming scheme and everything, but I haven't seen any price information on them. But if it's like any other launch, they're going to be really expensive when they come out. And it is a new, what was it? LGA 18 something, I think. You can't use 15th gen on the 12th, 13th, and 14th gen boards. It is a new socket, essentially. So there's no BIOS updating your current 12th gen Intel board to reuse 15th gen. Oh, wait, where are the new Intel ones then? Sorry, I thought you were talking about the new Intel ones. I did not see the news about AMD 870 boards. New motherboard chipset. Arrow Lake. 8 and 9. So yeah, so this is the confusing thing, and we've had this happen in a couple of times throughout the years, where the naming convention of either the same company rolls over itself, and you have similar named products from like 10 generations apart or 10 years apart, and then you sometimes have chipsets and naming schemes from both companies being the same. So Arrow Lake chipsets reportedly, so I don't know what the numbers are going to be. Oh yeah, so the Intel stuff is going to be LGA 1851, so there's more pins. But Eight, yeah. So when you said 870 boards, I thought you were talking about like the 800 series boards from Intel, but you're talking about AMD, which I have not seen information about. Oh yeah, that's really that it's gonna be really confusing. So I think it's gonna take getting used to, but we're at that point right now where the company's naming schemes have basically caught up, and then eventually they'll either like skip a name or go to a different naming convention, and then they'll be different enough to easily tell apart. But sorry about that. Yeah, I have no idea about the AMD side of things. I'm not caught up to that. So it's because AMD skipped 7 series boards. Yeah, that just happens. Like when one company skips, it can throw things in alignment, which confuses everybody. Some ITX boards do have 3 NVMe slots. Yeah, I'm definitely not about that pricey life. I did buy a cheap AliExpress $100 B650 ITX board for AMD AM5 socket, but I have not used it yet. I am excited to try it out though. So what is the deal of the day? We haven't found it yet. I'm just kind of browsing through the deal aggregator sites to look at what and I'm also down to pull. We're not at the parts where we're looking at PC part picker list yet, but if you guys have deals from Amazon Prime days or just any deals that are going on right now, if you submit them to stream submissions on the Discord server right here, then I can pull them up to look at them. But for now, we're just kind of browsing, like the stream title says, to see if there's anything that pops out. This I kind of... So Lenovo Legion Tower, Ryzen 7600, RX 7600, 16 gigs of RAM, 512, for $800. Okay, that doesn't seem too great. For pre-built and the specs, it's actually not bad. A lot of pre-built companies don't build things this cheap. And if they do, they really cheap out on the parts. We're talking they put like RTX 3050s or like a Ryzen 5600. This has pretty current gen parts. It's kind of lacking on the SSD, to be honest, at the $800 price point. But again, the pre-built customer base, they are looking for just the convenience of not having to piece together a system. I'm very curious though. This is from Lenovo.com. If I can open this thing without ad block canceling me. Give me 1 second. Okay. So normally this isn't worth nowhere near $1,300. I want to look at the motherboard that's in here. Do they even like list it out? Because yeah, you are getting Windows 11 7600, both 7600s. Again, confusing. You get RX 7600 and a Ryzen 5 7600. But okay, you get DDR. It is a DDR5. Oh yeah, because it's AM5. 500 watt power supply. No known model. At least the case itself is an improvement from some of the other like Dell and HP and stuff like that, where there is actually ventilation and like a good airflow path. Oh, look at that! Just from this picture though. Let's look at that picture up close. Just looking at that motherboard, it looks like a proprietary. Not in that it uses like proprietary headers and connectors. It does look like it uses a standard 8-pin CPU and 24-pin ATX and everything. But just looking at the picture, if I can't zoom in, can I? Here we go. We'll try to zoom in here. That looks like a not off-the-shelf motherboard. Yeah, no heat sinks. So yeah, for 800, I mean, I'm sure this PC works fine, right? If you could build yourself $800, definitely you could build something better. But for pre-builds, I'm like, that's the thing about pre-builds. The lower you go, the more corners are cut, and the harder it is to find decent specs for like a sub $1,000 price. Can an old Intel i7 work in a newer socket? No. Well, it depends. It depends on the generation. You have to, like, if... Okay, so just a little... So let's just look up i7 6700. I don't know why that came to mind. It's probably because I owned this processor at one point. So look up your processor. Go, like, if you type in your processor's name in Google, you can go to their website, and you go down... You go all the way down until you get to sockets supported. So this is an LGA land grid array 1151. You can only use this CPU in 1151 sockets. So for something like, let's see, a 14600K, right? And then let's look up a 12600K, which this spanned 3 generations, 12th, 13th, and 14th gen. So like 12600K is, where is it? LGA 1700, if I can find it. Where the heck did they list it on these ones? Okay, yeah, see, this one's LGA 1700, and then if you go to the 14600K, and when you look up the same thing, this is also the same socket. But you might have to do like a BIOS update within the same socket if it's different generation, depending on what generation the board is and what generation the chip is. Usually with a newer generation board, it has backwards support for all chips. But if you have a first gen board and you want to go to a newer chip, you might have to update the BIOS, either Intel or AMD. So yeah. I get it now, so I just need CPU upgrade. RIP, but thank you, sir. For sure. Glad to help. 5700 X3D going for like 180. We're talking about AliExpress or we're talking about Amazon? Let's look at both. Yeah, but with regards to the 4TB drive, this is very similar to what we've seen. If you guys, again, the general trend, I'm going to end the poll so we can get this out of the chat now. But the general trend that we've seen on Amazon Prime Day deals is usually like anywhere in the ballpark of 10% savings, 10-15%. And usually for parts like memory, SSD, cases, power supplies, they seem to be a bit more stingy when it comes to giving nice discounts on processors and graphics cards. Kind of because they don't have to. Those things sell year round. And yeah, it's just within the different... And there's not as much choice to choose from, right? If you're looking at current gen stuff. Whereas like SSDs, are you kidding me? Power supplies, cases, literally for that one component, you have hundreds of options. But when it comes down to CPUs and graphics cards and stuff like that, for a current generation, you only have really like, I don't know, 10 or so choices. So... but let's see, AliExpress 5700 X3D, which if you do have AM4, I don't know if AliExpress ever cares when Amazon and Newegg does their sales, but it would be funny if they also lowered the price. The old board is DDR3, so I got an upgrade, but I did not know Intel has 3 CPU sizes. Intel has more than 3 CPU sockets. It has a lot, so I don't know what... The board is DDR3. I'm guessing your new one is DDR4 because you brought that up. So that could be anything from Skylake to newer, which is 6th gen, and now we're about to be on 15th gen Intel. So there's like 9 generations in between there, and they all also have different sockets. So just do research. ask around if you don't know. But just found your channel a few days ago. Good content. I'm currently a computer science major. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. But okay, so we've got 180 on the 5700 X3D over on Amazon, which for sub $200, and if you're already on the AM4 platform, just you can do a quick swap in. What the heck? Why is the pricing not in the US? It says, weird. I'm not even using a VPN or anything. 5700 X3D on AliExpress, $135. Okay, let me see. Let me sort by lowest price. Let's look at the store real quick. Because the thing about AliExpress is if something is too cheap. Yeah, this is a legit store. Yeah, so if you want a much cheaper one, and you don't care about warranty, which honestly, I think it's worth the price savings. If it was like $10 difference, sure, buy it from Amazon, get it quicker, get the warranty. But we're talking $45 difference here. That is when you go to AliExpress. And having bought multiple CPUs from AliExpress, they've come to me in 7 to 10 days. So it's not like it takes a month or anything buying from AliExpress. Nope, a Russian agent? Was that what the currency was in? I didn't even recognize what that was. But yeah. Murphy says, opinions on the EVGA GTX 1080 classified. Opinions on it? Let me see. I mean, so the only thing I know about the 10 series cards from this generation was that they did have that what's it called, the VRAM, or what was the issue? Thermal pads. Was it the thermal pads on the VRAM, if I remember correctly? I had to do a thermal pad swap thingy on 1070 that I bought. But I mean, I also have not seen much about the classified specific card. I can see that it does have this unique red look to it. I mean, I don't have any special opinions on it other than if it was what not all their cards required the thermal pad swap, which they did send out kits for. I don't know if they would still send out a kit nowadays. You might have to find your own thermal pads on like Amazon or AliExpress and get the right thickness to replace it. But I mean, if I saw this in my market for like $100, I would probably pick it up. Like, yeah. But I can see why you can't find too much information on it, because it's not like the For the Win or the all the other ones that they had. This looks like a little bit of a rarer one. Yeah, I don't know too much about this one, so. Opinions on the 7900 GRE. Do they have them on here? 7900 GRE is really good bang for buck card. Is this real? Oh, you can pick. Of course! This is AliExpress. Why you do this? It shows 7900 XTX, 7900 XT, and 7900 GRE showing for $426, baiting me in. And then they're gonna go and charge $426 for a 6650 XT. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, give me 1 second. You think I should get a 24 or 32-inch curved monitor for 1080p? Ooh, 32-inch 1080p does not look good. But 24 I have not used a 24-inch monitor as a primary since I think it's been about a decade now. I used to run 3 24s, like one in the center, one on the left, one on the right. But as soon as I went to my ultra wide 32-inch back in like 2015 or 16, I haven't gone back to just using any 24-inch monitors like ever. I've been on ultra wides pretty exclusively for coming up on a decade now, and so I don't like both of those numbers, unfortunately. Can you get a 27-inch? Even if you're gaming at 1080p, I feel like for the other things you do that's not gaming, like browsing, word processing, spreadsheets, viewing YouTube videos and movies potentially, I feel like just getting a 1440p 27-inch would be the play. And I know the scaling isn't perfect because it's not like a whole integer round number going from 1080 to 1440p, but I don't know. I feel like with a lot of the technologies out there, you could just run 1440p with like FSR or DLSS and still have all the other benefits that comes with a 27-inch. I personally, for a 16:9, I think 32 inches is kind of too big. I have a 32-inch 1080p monitor, and I feel like it's too big sitting like right in front of it, unless you sit far back. But I think 1440p is like that sweet spot. So I can't give you advice, unfortunately, because I'm not a fan of 1080p at 32-inch, and I'm just not a fan of 24-inch monitors. If you have one, then it's fine. But if you're going to buy a monitor, I think you should get a 27-inch. But that's just my take on it. I'm not right about everything. It's going to vary from person to person, preference-wise. It's just a 1660 Super. Yeah, DLSS isn't an option, but good guy AMD is around, and they have FSR that you can use with your 1660. And, oh my god, I cannot wait. Like, so that system right now has an RX 580 in it, and it could handle a lot of modern AAA games thanks to technologies like FSR 2 and FSR 3 frame generation. The fact that frame generation, like a more recently released tech, works on an RX 580 that came out, what, how many years ago now? 7-ish years ago or something like that, is so amazing. Whereas with DLSS and DLSS frame generation, you have to have like the newest, not for DLSS, but for frame generation, you have to have like the newest gen card. That just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. Like, so many people show allegiance to Nvidia and stick to Nvidia when AMD is the one with the software that works regardless. It is like hardware agnostic, right? It does not care whether you have an Intel card or an Nvidia or an AMD card, or if it was like an 8-year-old graphics card, you can enable FSR to help boost your performance. I sound like an AMD show right now, but I promise you, I am not. Like, I would gladly praise Nvidia if they did the same thing. Let's just say that. How much would an RX 580 from a HP pre-built be worth barely used? Are you trying to sell it? Because if you're trying to sell it, I don't, whether it's barely used or like pretty used, people don't care. Used is used. Those go for around like $50, pretty consistently. So, but I don't know what the HP one looks like specifically. HP RX 580. So it's like a single fan one, it looks like. Oh yeah, this one. I mean, I like the RX 580. It is like that. I bought one in the latest video. I gave one to Logan. I'm testing one right there. RX 580 is to me, it gets that legendary graphics card status. Like, it goes along with like the 750 Ti, the GTX 1080 Ti. I think RX 580 is up there with some of the most legendary graphics cards within the last decade. And also, I think some cards that should get honorable mention, maybe not legendary, but really good, is like the RX 6600 and stuff like that. Just given how much like the price has come down and how affordable they are. I just think great bang for buck value cards, but yeah. $1070 is a great card, but I think it's a great card, but I think people still value it too much. I think the average price for that, what was that graphics card price spreadsheet? Here, let me look. It was linked. I'm pretty sure I pinned it. Okay, yeah, this Google Docs from Reckless. So if we look at so what are we talking about here? 1070. 1070 Ti's are going for $90. Where's the plain 1070s? 1070s are going for $75 on eBay. I guess that's I feel like that's a little bit pricey still. Let me see. Because I think this pulls it automatically. So let's see if that's 75. If I wanted to buy one right now, because I do not deal with bidding. Non-parts only. Yep, that's a parts only one. Not working, parts only. I'm pretty sure they filter out the broken ones. Yeah, so this one right here, let's see if it's work. This is a 0 seller though, 0 rep. I don't know if this is trustworthy. I mean, you could try it. Seller assumes no description. The thing is, if you're gonna like, do y'all think this is a scam or not? $70 Zotac used condition, which on eBay used means working. It would have to say parts only if it was broken. I mean, I understand some people make eBay accounts for the first time, so everyone starts at 0, but the pricing just doesn't seem aligned versus some of the other ones. Like, here's one from an actual seller, 76 plus 8, so we're talking about $84. So it's not too far off from this spreadsheet, but this is the average used price, which means if the lowest one got sold, the next more expensive one, whatever. But yeah, I think $80 for a 1070 is a little too expensive. I think like I would be like 70 solid would be like my cap for paying for a 1070. But you could argue that's only a $10 difference. But when you're talking about less than $100, $10 is a lot. I would expect at least one more picture. Yeah, let's see. There's one picture only. Can we reverse image search this? Let's take a look. Did they just pull this from the internet? No. At least Tiny Eye didn't recognize it. So, I mean, they could have actually taken this picture. Either way, you could try to buy that, but it's still $82. Like, I still think this is too expensive. But I do like the 1070. I personally use the 1070 in my system for a couple of years because I got a really good deal. I bought it for $200 during the mining craze back in 2017-ish, I think. 2017 or 2018, I forget what year. But I bought it when they were easily going for $300 to $350. So I use the 1070 and I like it a lot. We got a super chat in the house. We got a $20 super chat from Brad in the short stream of all places. All right, Brad D, what do we got here? Brad D says, hello, I have 5 1070s and 9 570s, 580s from my mining days. I would like to donate for you to help whoever needs them. I can drop them off for you. Wait, Brad, are you in Washington? First of all, you donated money to say that you want to donate these cards to me. Are you serious? This is, first of all, I am super grateful. And just a disclaimer to anybody out there, because I have been donated parts from people over the years. I never profit off of anything that is sent in to me from viewers. I either use it for testing purposes until I can find a good home for them. So, the 580 I gave Logan, I actually bought that one. But like previously, someone gave me, during a meetup, they gave me a GTX 1080. This was like a year and a half ago. And I ended up doing a giveaway to give that one away. And yeah, just any hardware that I get donated, I do not sell it and pocket the money. I definitely make sure it goes to other people. But Brad, you're in Bremerton. Okay, so you're across the water. Are you on this side of like the Seattle side often enough? I would definitely take you up on your offer, and it would be awesome just to meet, you know, a viewer in person, because there's only a handful of viewers in my local area anyways. But yeah, for this would definitely warrant a meetup, and if you're cool with it, a video. So yeah, let me know. If you're in the Discord, we could chat about it more. But yeah, that would be awesome. You used to work in Bellevue? Okay, yeah. I'm in Lynnwood, which you know where that is, so... Also, if you're not... First of all, I should be coming to you for this, so... It's just because you mentioned drop-off, but I should definitely be coming to you. So, if anything, if I could work out... coming over to Bremerton... Probably would take the ferry, because driving around is very annoying. But yeah, we can work out the details, because obviously with you donating it, I want the least amount of effort on your end. So you could meet in Edmonds. I mean, I would totally be down. Yeah, let me see. Did you say anything about if you were in the Discord or not? Because that would be... Yeah, if you're in the Discord, DM me, and then we could go from there and work out the details. Yeah, because I'm not sure how busy your schedule is, but usually... especially if you have to come across water and stuff, that's a like coordination thing that we definitely want to make sure both of our schedules are free to be able to do. So what's the fastest GPU I have on hand? I think the 4070 Ti. If you're willing to join the Discord, or if you want to email me, whatever's more what's it called, convenient. But Discord link, it should be in the description, and then sending an email works too. I'll make sure to check for it and not just have it be lost in the abyss of whatever companies email me. Also, Brad, so RV says, let me buy a 1070 and donate the other 4. So in the Discord server, if y'all didn't know, we do have a buy-sell trade section. And with this, it's similar to hardware swap, where you could post something to sell. Wow, someone is trying to sell a 4080. That is a very pricey thing. But again, if you do use like the buy sell trade section, do it, be smart about it. Use PayPal, use goods and services. The thing about this is that because we are a smaller community, hopefully that means the people that do participate in the Discord aren't scammers, or there's a lot lower chance of there being a scammer. But again, you have to treat any online transaction as if, you know, the other person might be trying to scam you. So even if someone is in the Discord, just like on Hardware Swap, if they're trying to convince you to buy something and not use the proper protections like goods and services, if they're asking you to pay with friends and family and stuff like that, take that as a sign or a warning. But yeah, also, if you want to sell any of those cards, Brad D, because again, I think like because they're your cards, if you can make money from them, I would prefer for people to sell their hardware and make money, because that's what this channel is about. It's about helping you guys save money and making like good purchasing decisions, stuff like that. I would only want to accept the cards if that was like the last resort. But if you can sell them and the money goes into your pocket to help yourself, that I would prefer that, because I already feel guilty taking anything from people. But if they insist overly, then I'll take it and try to find good homes for them. But yeah, I would request a real-time video of the part in a system working. I mean, yeah, you can do all that kind of stuff when, as much as you can anyways, when trying to buy used parts. But like we saw, I'm not sure if you guys saw the scam video recently, someone buying an OfferUp, or no, Facebook Marketplace RTX 4090, the person sent them a video of it working, and when they got home, the chips and the VRAM were removed. So the video was recorded beforehand, before they completely, butchered the card up and extracted all the goodies from it. So just because someone sends you a video of it working doesn't mean that they can later swap that card out or something, right? It's like, unless you're going to have them send you the serial number of it while it's in the system working, and then hope they didn't swap the stickers. I don't know. There are so many ways for people to scam, and scammers are getting smarter. Just be safe. Use the correct like means of doing transactions, like buyer protection and stuff like that. Danny, have you ever met Kyle from Bitwit? Yeah, I've met Kyle pretty much exclusively at LTX up in Canada, the convention that Linus throws. Actually, wait. He wasn't at this most recent one, so it was only in 2019 when I met him. But yeah, me, Ozzy, and Chris met him, and Jay at the same time, while they were at the creator area. We were just like talking to them a bit. And then we asked Jay if he had a tool to fix the graphics card that we dropped the night before. And then Jay just fixed it with his bare hands, which was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that though, I'm trying to think, I don't think I've had like a real one-on-one, like in-length conversation with him. But yeah. They've made you plenty in crypto, still have boxes for most? Yeah, that's awesome. Also, which crypto were you mining, if you don't mind me asking? I'm just curious. Were you doing like altcoins, or were you doing the big, what is it, 3? What are the major ones? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then what was the man, crypto is a whole conversation. Is it Litecoin? Was that the other one that was pretty, let's see. Yeah, it was like back, we're talking back in 2017, 2018, when we're talking about the big 3. It was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, right? Dogecoin? I don't remember when Dogecoin came about, but I don't know if I would consider it a serious crypto. I'm not a crypto expert by any means, but Dogecoin to me always came off as a meme coin. But yeah. How are we already an hour and 20 minutes into the stream? We're talking about a bunch of stuff, and let's see, no deals submitted so far. A lot of people are saying today is scam day deals because there's not that many actually good deals. Yes, you can still get rich off of a meme, but in terms of legitimacy and long term, what people would potentially be using it for actual transactions in the future, the future of money, I don't know if I would see Dogecoin as one of those as much as I see like Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can find enough information online to argue that every altcoin, even the crappiest of crap ones that are completely dead right now, is legitimate and can be a currency of the future. You can bring up all the white papers, you can bring up all the long in-depth discussions that people have about them, but I mean, just looking at the numbers, I don't think that's the case for a majority of the crypto out there. You did Ethereum, ETC, like, okay. I had my own pools as well. Emailed you. All right, sweet. I will definitely check that out after the stream, and then we can figure something out. Yeah, that would be very cool. You did buy a phone in crypto once. That was fun. The thing about that is, I guess the prices are more stable now. Well, at least with the big coins. Some of the altcoins, especially back when, what is it, 2018-ish? 2017, 2018. The prices were so volatile. So I don't understand, like, accepting a crypto, like, whatever coin or currency as a payment method. Only for it, like, at the time, you took $100 worth of crypto. And then 10 minutes later, it could be worth like 80 or something. It's so volatile and it changes so much that I don't know if I would ever... Or same thing as, like you said, you bought a phone, right? You could have bought the phone with $400 worth of whatever coin. And the next day, for whatever reason, it jumps up to $550 or something. It's just like buying with stocks almost. And then I think the biggest turnoff for me, especially when I was trying to like get into it and invest and buy coins and stuff like that, and then move it around to places, paying the fees, and how long it took to actually transfer stuff. Yeah, I'm like, seriously, people said this is the money of the future when I could literally PayPal or Venmo like people pretty much instantly, and it's good and backed by whatever app that is. So I never like super got into it past that, but yeah. Mr. Glass says, I learned how to build PCs because of you. Thanks. For sure. I appreciate that. I was mining from 2015 to 2023. Card's been boxed since. Dang. 2015? So, I'm trying to think of what was Bitcoin prices in... Or at least Ethereum prices in 2015. I mean, I think most people usually end up selling it. 2015, the year that Ethereum first launched, price started at around 74. Okay, what is Ethereum prices now? So less than $1 to $2,000. But most people would sell off well before it even reached this amount. Everyone says like, oh, I wish I got into Bitcoin back in whatever year, thinking that they would really have held for 10 years for it to become the price it is now, when they would have sold it off when it was like $50 or 100 or something. Now, if you had a time machine, that would be different. Thoughts on RDNA 4 going only mid-range? I don't know. I think overall it's kind of bad because it kind of sets a precedent that they aren't trying to push their tech or their limit as much. I think like it also gives shills and fanboys of opposite sides a reason to not want to go with AMD if you consider investing into an ecosystem, which with graphics cards I don't really think is a thing. But I think naturally people who eventually want, like, let's say a higher end graphics card, they might want to get an entry level Nvidia because they think for whatever reason the transition to when they do upgrade to an Nvidia, I guess there is the benefit of when you upgrade you don't have to deal with like the driver DDU and even installing new drivers. Like Nvidia, for their suite of cards, whether you put in a 4060 or 4090, it uses the same GeForce experience, or not GeForce experience, but like the same game ready drivers. Like if you look at the numbers and you go to the website, even though they let you select from the pull down menu, they all use like the same drivers. So you could literally swap out a 4060 with the 4090 and it just works. Whereas you can't do that if you had like a mid-range AMD card and later upgraded. Which again, driver updates and running DDU isn't a big deal for most people, but not everyone is like a super PC enthusiast. Some people are just using their PC as tools. So that little bit of convenience makes a difference. And just getting features like, I don't know, like the RTX voice and the AI stuff that Nvidia is better with. I think that is also more of a reason for people to go to Nvidia. So AMD not having anything high end just makes it look like they're losing the war in like, or the battle when it comes to just their GPU side of business. Like, they don't make things that can compete with Nvidia across the whole stack. And also, we're talking okay, I gotta go on a rant real quick. If Nvidia is saying they're not gonna, you know, prioritize, or not Nvidia, if AMD says they're not gonna prioritize the high-end market, they better be prioritizing the low-end market then. Because they haven't really released a lot of stuff like sub $200 worth people's money, right? So now that they're giving up on the more high-end, they can't just only focus on the mid-range. They need to focus on the even pre-mid-range, the low range, the entry level. They need to focus on cards that are sub $200 if they're not going to focus on things more than like, I don't know, $500-600. That's my ask of them. I wonder if Becky could get me Satoshi's keys. Exactly, I know, right? I just realized I've only bought AMD new and Nvidia used. 6 of each over the last 8 years or so, lol. Probably because AMD new is usually cheaper than Nvidia, and you would have to buy Nvidia used to be the same price as AMD. Yeah, Nvidia's just got that premium still. I would love to see AMD focusing on the $150 market. Me too. Just like give people a card that they could buy brand new, that they could play games at 1080p, most of the modern titles. Like, okay, like what card would you want the AMD to release? What equivalent card at $150? I'm thinking by this point, it better be something that's around an RX 6600. Maybe not 150, but 160 to 180 around there. Because how much is the RX 6600 right now? The last $200 card I had was the R9 270X. Great card, by the way, the 270X. That was about equivalent to the 7870. I think it was a little bit better, but like let's see what are 6600. So 6600s are pretty regularly $200. Oh, renewed is 174. So yeah, if AMD can release for the next gen of cards a card that is like the RX 6600 at like 170, 180, I think that would help. But honestly, the closer they can get to 150, the better. Because the 6600 is still a really great card. But you know, to some people that $50 difference from 200 to 150 is a big difference. When you're working with like $600, that's a lot of money. Sure, there's a 6500 XT at 140, but yeah, no. They need to make a real $150 card without the compromises. Why not make a 6550 XT? Yeah, I mean, if honestly, no, just what's the next series? It's gonna be the 8000 series, right? So we need an 8500 or 8500 XT that is the performance level of an RX 6600 for like 150, 160. We'll see if we get it. Then we can come back to the stream and said, "Yay, we predicted the future." I would love a low profile 8GB RX 6600 at like 160. Yeah, we'll see, man. Like, if they're not gonna do the high end card market, like, they'd better shift those resources to the more entry level. Like, I don't know, just I feel like there are more people out there who have less money to build a PC than there are to build like the most expensive PCs. If it's a margin thing, then it's a difficult like formula to solve. Does putting a 3060 Ti into a Gen 3 motherboard affect the performance by a lot? No, it doesn't. Not anything that you need to worry about. Plus, if you already have it, just do it for now and then eventually upgrade your motherboard and CPU and stuff when it's time. But it's not gonna there might be performance differences in some titles. It's very small though, and even if there was, like, I always go back to, like, do you care about getting 95 or 90 FPS versus 100? I mean, sure, you would love the performance, but you already have the Gen 3 motherboard. What are you gonna do? Buy a crappy graphics card that doesn't even get to 90 FPS? So just use it for now and then upgrade your motherboard when the time comes. That's the advice I would give. The 8500 XT probably won't have the raw horsepower, but just the FSR3 and all the bells and whistles to play everything besides native resolution. I mean, that's not even a good, like, talking point for a potentially lower powered 8500 XT though, because you can use FSR3 on older hardware. I just used FSR3 frame gen on my RX 580. So you could do that with like an RX 6600 as well. If obviously the title has to support it, but yeah. I love how this person's name is Turd on AMD has a picture of my profile with the poop emoji on it. Like, I live so much in their head rent free that they went to make a profile, or they could be trolling, I don't know, but either way, I find that funny that they went. You get some kudo points for the effort, but until I figure out if you're just trolling and being funny or if you're actually like anti-AMD for whatever reason, then we'll just leave it at that. Charlie Q says, I use AMD FSR3 resolution scaling on my GTX 1060 6GB while playing the finals. Hey, you should talk to Jason Whitmer. He loves the finals. But I get about 36% more frames and better latency on the final because I get more frames and better latency. Yeah, Jason loves the finals. He has like multiple hundreds of hours on it. He plays that every night. He tries to get other people to play it too, but I am not into the finals. But yeah, he is very much into it. Being anti-AMD over anti-Intel is pretty crazy to me. Being anti-anything is crazy. Why do you gotta be anti? Just don't buy their products. Wait till their next release cycle and see if there's better stuff or less problems. Like, just because Intel messed up with the 13th and 14th gen chips, that does not faze me one bit. I'm just not gonna buy those products and hope that they improve next gen, because the better every company does, and when you aren't forced to choose a company, you hear it all the time. Competition is good for the consumer. But when you have, do you guys not realize what just happened recently? Everybody flocked towards the 7800 X3D because Intel became like not a viable option due to all their problems, and you know, the RMAs, and then them having to release the updates, microcode updates, so that the chips wouldn't like kill themselves. Everybody flocked to AMD, and then what happened? The prices of 7800 X3Ds went up because it was only third-party sellers and there was no stock. So anyone who's happy about one company failing over another, you're just asking for prices to increase, and we just saw that in the last couple of months. So y'all can keep playing your I prefer this company over another, but just know at the end of the day, that screws you over. Like, come on, guys. You need 2 to tango, but preferably 3. Yeah, this is a good take. Boycott the products, not the company. Like, oh gosh, don't ask me Linux stuff. I'm not the person to ask for this. Where's Craig Lilly? First of all, I appreciate the super chat, but I have not played around with Linux just because I do not have time to, and I am a gamer. So I hear it all the time. We've talked about this in previous streams. Linux is pretty good for gaming now, but I don't want it just to be pretty good. I want it to be as good as Windows is in terms of not having to tweak settings, not having to do workarounds, not having complete whole games be incompatible with the operating system. Like, yeah. And I just haven't had enough time to like dig into it. So I cannot recommend it, but if anyone in the chat would like to recommend what versions of Linux or distros that you are using for Juan Perez, it would be greatly appreciated because I cannot help with this one. I'm sorry. Ubuntu, Xubuntu, Ubuntu probably has the best support. Yeah, I mean, where's Craig Lilly uses a specific one, doesn't he? Mint. Craig Lilly says Mint or Catchy OS. I thought there was a rumor about a possible 4th GPU manufacturer in China. Didn't Linus do a video on that? I think there was too, but they might be so far behind that they're not really a part of the race yet. Let's see. Chinese new GPU. China doesn't want me to have this GPU.
In my hand is the scariest GPU in the world. This Chinese GPU is so threatening that it's got Biden AMD.
This was 2023 March.
Segway.
Okay, I'm not trying to get freaking copyright striked for playing too much of his video in my stream. But yeah, I think this was the one, right? This wasn't just like an AIB, or was there a different one? Yeah. Musa cores. Yeah, so, oh, whoops. I didn't have this pulled up. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, this is probably what you were talking about. I have not followed up on this at all since last year. I actually haven't even seen this full video. I just remember hearing about it and seeing a couple of articles. But yes, there is another GPU, actual different, potentially to compete with the big three, but I don't know how far along it is. I'll link the video, but thanks everyone for recommendations, says Juan. So yeah, thank you all for helping out for something that yeah, not even gonna try there. We got JD Tech Gear in the house. What up, JD? Good to see you in the stream. How you doing? Steam is investing into Arc, so find something based on Arc. I do Windows only for gaming. Everything else on Linux. What does everything else consist of? I mean, I know like the general browsing, viewing content, but do you do like dev work? Do you do like video, photo editing, coding, etc.? Like, what does everything else encompass? Because how can you do game development stuff like on the most popular like Unity, Unreal, and all that stuff on Linux just fine? First of all, I don't do any of that stuff, so I have no idea. But no offense, Jason in the house. Yo, Charlie Q also likes the finals. You might have missed that part, but I was telling him that you love the finals. So, no offense, but even Chinese people don't buy Chinese goods. The only benefit is going to be price. And if AMD is any indicator, that doesn't matter when competing with Nvidia. That is a good point. Aside from making fun tech videos, like what Linus did on this one, yeah, like, AMD is cheap enough. Like, how much cheaper can this other brand come in and make a difference? Intel is a well-known brand, name and brand that's been around for forever, and they're even struggling to get market share on their graphics cards. And their graphics cards had issues at launch and stuff, and they've been improving it. But the same thing is going to happen with whatever Chinese graphics card, this brand, if they get far along enough to be able to even compete and be considered a big four. Like, why are people going to choose them over AMD or Nvidia, where Intel is even struggling right now? MGZ8 says MSI Pro H10 motherboard with a... Wait, what are you talking about here, MGZ? I mean, I like the 10 series Intel. It just depends on the price. I think it's fine. Like, you're not buying it new, right? Are you buying it used? Or at least at a pretty good discount? Like, if you're gonna buy new, why not just go 12 gen? And then you have, even though the upgrade path, people are going to complain about 13 to 14 gen, the fixes are there, and you can still get stronger processors. But I still like 10th gen stuff on Intel if you're working on a tighter budget. I think 10th gen was a phenomenal generation. 11th gen was like a meh, but if you could find, later on an upgrade to pop in, it's fine. But yeah. 10th gen is hot, boy. What? They blow up Corsair PSU? I'm not sure if that was a thing. I know plenty of people with 10th gen chips. Was that a thing? JD says, I've been good, man. Catch up on everything, but I hope you're doing well. And I'm pumped for the Lambeater drop. Thank you. I appreciate that. JD... I do randomly go check your channel from time to time. It doesn't show it here because I'm not logged in, but just in case, just because I feel like the tech fam definitely dropped off by now. So, and the tech fam was biggest before I was like even reached 100,000 subscribers. But JD is, I would consider, a really good colleague and friend of mine that, I met through YouTube. Not personal or anything. We've never met in real life, but just the interactions I've had with him, either on calls when we did collabs in the past, or just on social media in general. JD is part of the tech fam, and JD, I know you've released videos kind of here and there over the last year or two, but you haven't consistently been updating. Are you coming back to YouTube at any point in time? Do you want to? I know real life, we're all at that age now, in our 30s, or late 20s or 30s, where stuff gets more serious, and I know it can be hard, but I always was a fan of all the stuff that you made. Very clean, very soothing voice, wink wink. But yeah, it feels like just the whole tech scene, the PC tech scene, and just all the people that I know now versus 4 or 5 years ago, it's so changed. I know like Ozzy, Mark, Zach, and stuff still make content, but there was a number of drop-offs, not just within the tech fam, but like what BPS customs. There are a lot of tech YouTubers who eventually just stopped making content that have been making it for years. So yeah, I sometimes fondly remember back in time what the tech scene used to look like years ago. I found a used chip for 50 bucks and a mobile for 45 Chinese. Oh yeah, that's pounds. What's the conversion for pounds to USD? 1 USD to 1 pound. So that's only worth 76. Wait, my head hurts. Are parts that expensive? Actually, no. We're talking about the 10400F. Those are still pretty. Those are still pretty valuable. Yeah, you can't buy them. Let's see what the used on Amazon. 84 used. Okay, so that sounds about right. Still very solid chips. Yeah, I mean, I have no issues with that chipset or that generation, so. Tech of Tomorrow. Tech of Tomorrow. Is that the, well, I don't remember his name. But I think Tech of Tomorrow, the one who got his foot amputated, right? Yeah, he's another one that I think eventually just stopped. Yeah. No, there's plenty of channels that just eventually. It's because it's hard to be on YouTube for that much time. My channel also has downtrends like all the time. It's hard to stay relevant. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 8 years now. It is hard to continually keep on the uptrend. There are channels that do it, but there are also a lot of medium to small channels that just fizzle out, unfortunately. So. Oh yeah, that one came out already, JD. But I have another one. We just landed a few weeks ago, and that one will be out in December. Love the love, man. Thank you. I definitely want to get back in the scene. Everything moved to short form content, and life was busy. Yeah, short form content. I'm trying to still adapt to that, but long form is still definitely there. If you look at all the large channels, I guess if you're well established, you're not as affected. But yeah. For channels that are just popping up in like the last year or two, doing primarily shorts, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels just make it to 1 million subscribers doing only short form content. The growth is definitely super explosive there, but I don't know what the revenue and like long-term implications are just yet. But I mean, yeah, it's difficult. Being a medium-sized channel, you know, less than, let's say 500,000, but more than 100K. Or just more than like 20, 30K, I guess you would be considered medium. It's a difficult range to like navigate through. They probably don't get paid well, but if they can get sponsorships, then they can get paid well. Some sponsors pay a lot for shorts if you can get the views. What I hate about YouTube Shorts though, is there's so much more bot content. Like BOT, like robotic, like AI made content, robotic voices. Like, let's just look at YouTube Shorts. Let's just pull something up real quick. Victor Martinez with, first of all, before we this freaking TikTok dance, thank you for the channel membership sub. I appreciate it. Not this one. You guys know what I'm talking about though, where it's just like there are a lot of channels on YouTube that solely steal other people's content, put some text on it, and have a robotic voice narrating what's going on in the clip, getting millions of views. And the people who made the original clip, like, oh, right here. Here's one. Let me see.
Started, the girls played a quick game of rock, paper, scissors in order to...
Okay, this one doesn't sound like an AI voice, but this is very similar. Like, this has 2.8 million likes. How many views does this have? This has 40 million views.
Will take the victory and win the tournament. Even the ref played along perfectly.
Wait. Do you guys think this is an AI voice, or do you think someone is narrating this? Because it's starting to get hard to distinguish it.
This is what happens when two close friends meet each other in the finals. When the match started, the girls played a quick game of rock, paper, scissors in order to determine which one of them will take the victory and win the tournament. Even the ref played along perfectly.
It's pretty good for AI, right? There's the super AI voice, and this one sounds a little bit better, but you're right. There are some indicators of like pacing and tone that is always the same exactly for certain words, but the speed at which it goes, it is more passing, I guess, than the super robotic ones. But look, okay, this is a prime example. This got, what is this channel? Narrator Speech. They have 230k subs, but this video had 2.8 million likes and 40 million views. This isn't even their content that they made. They're literally reposting other people's content, narrating what's happening. Like, I don't need you to tell me what's going on the screen. I can see what's, like, everything happening. Like, I can mute this and see that it's two wrestlers having fun. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the original person who recorded this did not get 40 million views. And I don't think that's fair, to be honest. The original person who recorded this video, or the people who are in this video, did not get anywhere near this much engagement. A lot more faceless content for sure. Yeah, and that's what sucks because, I don't know. Can you blame them though? People watch it. It just sucks for people who do have a personality, who do make content and put hard time, like, and effort into it. They're just like not getting any love, and these AI generated almost. You could probably generate this from AI, not like clip farming and AI editing and all that stuff. Yeah, I if this is the trend that YouTube is going, then a lot of us smaller to medium channels are gonna be fizzled out for sure. They do have AI voice clones where it basically takes your voice and makes it AI. Yeah, I have seen that as well. There was also the Quabblecop stuff, which is significantly better because at least he consented to being turned into AI. Yeah, I saw that. Quabblecop for a little bit try to use AI to run his channel, or like to make the content on his channel. I think some people liked it, but a lot didn't. But yeah, if you could, like, if I use AI to use my voice and to make it based on the clips and like testing and, you know, stuff that I create, then it's fine. I think using AI to basically steal other people's work and never actually create anything for yourself, I think that's where I have a problem with. It will get to a point where we won't be able to discern AI from real life, and that's my concern. Yeah, for sure. That is, for people who create, especially, I mean, artists and musicians are already going through that now, but that's slowly creeping into content creation and video editing and stuff like that, where, I mean, I don't know how many years we're away from that, but I can see YouTube just, and all the social media video sharing platforms and stuff like that being like 90% AI. It's kind of scary. I'm faceless till I'm not. I am providing information and stories, so no need to see my handsome face. I mean, wait, Robert. For your channel though, don't you make content of stuff that you actually do though? Like, you're not just stealing someone's clip and then putting AI all over it, like, and then posting it to get tons of views, right? Like, you're posting stuff about you working on computers. You don't show your face, which is fine, but like the stuff that you show is like stuff recorded from either your monitor or your camera. So I think that's totally different. Yeah, it's what I did at the time. Yeah, see? So you are essentially using your own content to make content. You're not just stealing other people's stuff. So, Danny, how are you liking Arc so far? So for the most recent LAN a few weeks ago, I switched out the Arc card for a 4070 Ti that I had on hand, and it's still in my system because I don't know what card I wanted to get in there. I might go with back to AMD 7700 XT. But yeah, I switched it out because for the recording footage portion of it, I just wanted it to be, you know, higher quality, higher FPS and stuff. And the art card, when you're trying to game at like 1440p, get 60 FPS on some of the titles, it struggles a little bit. So I've got the 4070 Ti in there, but I think I'm going to go to the 7700 XT long term. Andrew Yang was right. UBI for all. I agree. I wish we could all get some kind of UBI, and maybe not like, you know, 50,000 a year, but some kind of UBI to start offsetting AI taking over everything. Man, how did we get this far off topic? A niche vlog says, big fan, bro. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. What is UBI? UBI is a universal basic income, which means pretty much even if you don't work a job, you will get some kind of income that will help you with like groceries, rent, etc. It is universal. And yeah, Andrew Yang kind of went weird after he didn't, you know, meet his goals of becoming the president. Andrew Yang, to me, I was a big fan of him initially, but now he comes off as a grifter. But him being one of the few proponents, at least mainstream-wise, of UBI is what I like about him. But yeah, UBI, what he talks about is eventually in the future, AI and robots are going to take over all of our jobs. They're going to take over most of our jobs, I should say. Probably not everything, but a lot of it. Like truck drivers, a lot of the manual labor, like grocery stores, you're already seeing it when you go to check out. A lot of them don't even run people at the stands anymore. You just do self-checkout. Stuff like that. Even farming stuff, robots are starting to do a lot of farming work in agriculture. So people are going to be displaced out of their current jobs, and there won't be enough jobs for people with their skill sets to get, right? Like AI is going to take over your job, and you're not going to have the skills to get a better job. So universal basic income helps address that. So, but there's problems with that, obviously, because giving free money to the entire population is kind of not feasible. So it's interesting. AI and robots and stuff going into the future. How we're going to address that is going to be, I don't know. It will be within our lifetime, though. At least if you're like around 30 years or younger. Maybe even 40. But the dock workers striked for the robots taking over the work, lol. Yeah, but strikes can only work so much. They strike until every position can be replaced by robots. Then it doesn't matter if they strike. So it matters right now because the robots can't do everything and you still need humans. So when humans strike, there is like, you know, a bottleneck. But when the robots can actually do everything, it doesn't matter if you strike. Yo, what's up, Demon Mitt? Dock workers just striked over automation concerns. Yeah, yep. They may strike in January. I mean, this is just the beginning of it. I mean, the AI is still pretty... I mean, AI, the idea of AI has been around for a while, but the leaps and bounds that we made in AI right now, and then in the sides of the hardware with like, you know, Boston Dynamics type stuff, they do crazy stuff, but for the mainstream or like the masses, I don't know how advanced robots are. I know Amazon has robots and stuff like that as well, but yeah. Strikes work until there's a layoff and you're replaced by robots. Exactly. Manufacturing, production, data entry, customer service, logistics, etc. It is a real threat to the jobs. It is. If you're not worried about it, then you either have a job that will not be replaced by automation, which there are some that I would agree with. I think in the healthcare system, nurses and doctors and surgeons and specifically the more intricate surgeries, it's going to be a while till you can trust a robot to do all that stuff. So I think healthcare, at least on the physical side of it, will be a while till that gets replaced, if ever. But a lot of like engineering, what I went to college, got a degree for, and you know, I as a structural engineer, right? So a lot of that can be automated, and AI can take care of eventually. With engineering, safety is a big issue, so they're not going to go completely automated or AI just yet, but I can see it being there in the future. You still need humans to check over the work, or at least set it up, because you can't have bridges falling, buildings collapsing, airplanes falling out of the sky. You definitely need humans to have a second look at least. Yo, what's up, Nemus Dark? I work in education and have seen some piloted programs and using AI as a main teaching tool, and it is downright terrifying. Yo, getting rid of the teachers? Are you kidding me? Teachers are already screwed and underpaid. We're talking like K through 12. Maybe not if you're a private school teacher, or maybe not if you're a university professor, but like we're talking about where it matters the most. Literally babysitting kids for 8 hours a day. They're already getting so underpaid, and treated like crap from both kids and parents. Yeah, that's not fair. Nemus Dark says some Prime deals are sick, not gonna lie. Like which ones? I was kind of browsing a little bit, trying to see if people had anything to suggest, but nah, we did not get a single suggestion. We did get someone submit their PC though. Most of us will be coders, engineers, robotics, maintenance, etc. That makes sense. Robotics engineer. The thing is, not everyone is cut out to be coders, engineers, or mechanics / maintenance though. Like I did really good in school all throughout, you know, K through 12. I went to college, got an engineering degree, worked an engineering career, did really well, etc., etc. I cannot code for the life of me. Like, I just can't code. It doesn't click. You cannot force some people to get into coding and be good enough to get a job with it. It just doesn't work. Not everybody's brains are wired like that. I would say a lot of people's brains are not wired like that. And no matter how much schooling or training you do, they're never going to be at the level to be, you know, competent at it. So those people are, unfortunately, they are going to be screwed over legitimately if there's no jobs left for them after automation and AI takes over. You think the Steel Series Aorus 5 is any good? Is that a chair? No, we're talking about a mouse? Sorry. It sounds like a chair. Some of these chairs begin some weird names. Oh, I'm not a mouse person at all. I'm not the person to ask. Yeah. Bro, I use a Corsair Harpoon. I love this mouse. It's kind of, you can see how worn it is by the smooth spot. If this freaking camera will focus. Come on, man. I cannot wait to replace this camera, which I will be doing kind of soon. But you can see the smooth spots on it. I use this. This is what I use. Know why? It is affordable. It is also wireless. And it is both Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz compatible. So I could take this and use it with some other computer that doesn't have a USB dongle. Or I can use this here with the dongle or via Bluetooth. And yeah, I can plug it in, you know, for a day when it runs out of batteries, and then use it for like a week or two until it needs to be recharged again. But yeah, dude, this mouse I think is like $40 or something. I have, there's a reason why I don't do mouse and keyboard reviews, because yeah, I'm not the type of person to ask for that. Viking says, yeah, I can't code for crap. I'm a PC builder, and if not YouTube or business, doesn't not pay the bills. Yeah. Alright, I didn't even realize we're 2 hours into the stream, guys. So, the deal hunting we did for the first portion of the stream, kind of. And I didn't see anything that was super standing out to me because some of the stuff that people brought up, you saw it on AliExpress for even way cheaper, like that 5700 X3D on sale. But Prime Day deals, I bought one thing from Prime Day deals in these last 2 days. It was a power supply. It was that MSI Mag AB one that I brought up for 48 bucks. But there's usually not a ton of crazy good deals. There are some savings if you are looking for specific like memory cases, power supplies, but it's nothing to write home about. We just ended up talking about a bunch of other stuff in chat. So I usually go with the streams wherever the chat takes me. So, Nemus Dark says, by the way, I had a blast make, I try to include at least one meme in all the thumbnails I make. Yeah, thanks for sending that over, Nemus. Again, like, I'm not looking for a thumbnail designer. I have someone that I'm working with already that, you know, their prices are good and I like the quality that they make. So I'm not looking for, you know, another thumbnail designer. Where to post links for deals? What channel you're looking at? Wait, what are you talking about? But Discord, stream submissions, as always. You bought these ones. These are the head. So you did buy on Prime Day deals for, is it 125 now, down from 229? But what is the actual price usually? 175. Okay, so yeah, this is another prime example of other. So I don't review headphones either, and I'm good with my M40Xs. But if you're looking for like mice, keyboard, headphones, monitors, there are decent deals. Like 125 down from a usual 175. You see them at 150 here back in April, but for the most part, this is a good price for the last, I would say, how many months? I mean, year even. I do not see 125 on this at all in the price tracker. Unless it was like some crazy one-off deal. So this is like the lowest it's been for a long time. So yeah, stuff like this is more worth it, but I'm good on all peripherals and stuff like that. And PC hardware is where I mostly am buying stuff these days. $140 for a mouse? Like, do you guys think that's expensive or cheap? I know some people who would gladly pay for that. To me, that's too expensive, unfortunately. My max at paying for a mouse is probably... I've spent... How much did I spend on this thing? Give me a second. Let me look. I bought the Logitech vertical mouse. But how much did I spend on it is the question. This. I bought this. What year did I buy this? Why is it not telling me the year I bought it? Is it because I bought an older version? But either way, I bought this mouse because for my carpal tunnel and arthritis. But let's see, Logitech vertical. I bought this back in 2021. I'm not using it right now because I busted out when I have the wrist issues, basically. And I haven't had it recently. But I bought this thing renewed. Wow, I bought it for 75 bucks. And now it's on sale for 75, brand new. Let me see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. Come on, where you at? There it is. I found it. Yeah, so if you guys have wrist issues being on the computer too much, try a vertical mouse. There are cheaper ones, but yeah, and here's mine. You can tell this did not have smooth marks when I first got it. I used this that much that the smooth marks developed on it. But yeah, vertical mouse, if you want to test how much it actually works, stick your hand out like this and then pronate your wrists. Feel the strain just from doing this to this. Now imagine doing this for like 8 hours a day, days on end. So this is a much more natural, comfortable position. Doing this, you should already feel strain in your wrist. Add in the finger movement, add in the like long time, what is it, repetitive stress injury, the repetition. Yeah, you can imagine why people have wrist issues or pain in their wrists from using a mouse in this position. Hey, what's up, Casey Walls? When's the next LAN video? December. Alright, we gotta close out a stream soon. I gotta eat. And potentially do a dungeon in Throne and Liberty with the boys. Okay, they haven't said anything yet, but yeah. What up? I agree, vertical mouse have done tons for my wrists. I learned about vertical mice from my workplace. Because when you have a desk job, especially at a big corporate job, they care so much about ergonomics because they don't want you to, you know, be out due to injury and stuff like that. So they are willing to pay for like nice ergonomic chairs, ergonomic keyboards, ergonomic mouse, ergonomic tables and stands and stuff, so that your health is in good working order, so that you can keep working for them without disruption. So yeah, that was when I first experienced a vertical mouse, and I was like, oh, this thing's pretty cool. Okay, I should get one for home. Stop playing WoW. I'm not playing WoW. I'm playing Throne and Liberty right now. I'm kind of sad because I got the War Within, and I barely made it to the level to start the War Within content, and then now I'm having a blast in Throne and Liberty. Like, God, it is such a fun game. Actually, let me see if I can load it up right now while we start ending out the stream. Dang, the company is throwing down for Herman Miller's. I don't know if it was a Herman Miller, but I know the chair that at the office was like in the $700 range. I don't know what actual chair brand it was. I didn't care. I just sat on it. But come on, I sit on Staples hiking chairs that cost like $150 or less. I'm still young enough where having the nicest chair doesn't matter as much as having a nice mouse for me. What's the best budget GPU for gaming right now? I don't even know what budget GPU means. There's such a large price range when it comes to how much you can pay for a GPU. RX 580 is good. RX 6600 is good. 3060 Ti's, if you can get it for around 200, is pretty good. 3070s, if you can get it for like 250-ish, is pretty good. RTX 3080s for 450 to 400 is pretty good. Like, there's plenty of price range. Have y'all heard of this game right here? Y'all heard of this game right here? This is what I'm playing right now, like full time. Casey, have you played Throne and Liberty? What is amazing about this game, while we end out the stream... Oh, is Gigantrite around? This... Okay, I'm a long-time MMO player. I am very picky when it comes to MMOs. This game is not perfect. Uh-oh. Is it causing the stream to lag? I think it's causing the stream to lag. This game is really hard to run. This is my character so far. You can't see everything on the screen because I'm blocking it. But I'm gear score, combat power 2180 right now. But I've been playing this quite a bit. My favorite thing about this game is the no loading screens between zones, which is amazing. I wish every game does that. Guild Wars 2 and Final Fantasy doesn't, but WoW kind of does. But also, like, if I want to teleport to this town, like, you channel the short amount like every game has, but then there's no loading screen. You just warp and you're in a town that was like super far away. Like, if this is the future of MMOs, I'm for it. Like, look, I'm on this side of the map I'm gonna teleport all the way to this side of the world. And again, I channel for 5 seconds, which every game has some kind of channeling to return home. But then boom, you're like instantly here. And there's the NPCs, there's the other players. Mind blown. Tell me another MMO that does that. But yeah, this is where I'm playing. If you guys want to play, I am on the Stoneguard server. But yeah. Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm excited for dinner. Legend So Cool says, I'm not a big into MMOs. It definitely is one of those things that like you have to have a taste for, you know, like almost an acquired taste. A lot of people play MMOs because they played it 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like I love MMOs because I started back in WoW 2004, 2005 time frame. And just the genre, just being able to be in a, you know, a realm with potentially hundreds to thousands of players at the same time, having a real world that persists even when you log off. To me, that's like really fun, like to be a part of. But yeah, I don't know. MMOs are definitely not for everyone. I can see why people don't like them. It's kind of like how I can say I don't like... What genre don't I like? I don't like turn-based games like Baldur's Gate. But so many people like Baldur's Gate. So, it definitely genres require certain tastes. But Throne and Liberty... Is OBS just lagging? Or are you guys seeing like choppiness as well? Final Fantasy XIV Online is still amazing. I played that during Heaven's Word, but I couldn't get into it. Again, the segmented loading maps, like let me show you guys, for example. And I'm not trying to shill Throne and Liberty right now. I'm just super excited because this game just came out. And for a free-to-play game, it's blown my expectations out of the water. I thought this game was going to be so crappy. Look how many players are playing right now. It's crazy. You hate I don't like Call of Duty. I like Halo, though. So, it's not that I hate FPSs. I just don't like the pacing of Call of Duty. I used to play back in the original Modern Warfare, which is, what, 2007, 2008? But yeah, so, like, this is the map. The whale hasn't spawned yet. But, like, I can just glide. I just went into a new zone. If it's laggy, I'm sorry. It's not laggy on my screen, but OBS might be having trouble handling this. Oh, it's not... That's weird. So you guys aren't seeing any choppiness, but OBS is showing it as choppy, but to me, in-game, it's not choppy. So OBS is just... It says, encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings. No lag. Wow, okay, so OBS is just freaking out right now. Interesting. As long as it's smooth on stream, nice. Oh, now there's some chop. Yeah, so I think it's taking time to catch up. But yeah, combat in this game is pretty smooth and fluid. A lot, like, it's more like Black Desert combat than WoW, but anyways. Okay, you guys probably don't care about Throne and Liberty or MMOs, so let me... Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I need to tune the settings because Throne and Liberty is crazy on the system. I mean, it's a brand new MMO, but I've never played an MMO that was this demanding on a computer. It was fine. Yeah, I think I need to tweak the settings for that because I normally don't play AAA titles at high settings on the stream. But alright, we're gonna close out the stream in the next few minutes. I'm trying to get this build video out. I don't know if I can get it out this weekend. I'm gonna really try, but I would like to get this out this weekend. I'm finishing benchmarking it. I did the system as is, but to show the potential of it, I'm gonna put in a beefy graphics card and show, like, this is the Xeon build that we got from AliExpress. This is a sub $200 PC build right here, sitting behind me. So I finished benchmarking it on the graphics card that's within the $200 price range. Now I'm going to throw in a $500 graphics card just to push that Xeon CPU to see how much of a bottleneck it is in what titles. And then I got to wrap up, film the video and all that stuff. But I'm trying to get that out this weekend in terms of upcoming content. If not, then maybe middle next week or next weekend. But yeah. Might be an interesting content piece. Building a budget streaming PC for a dual PC setup. Oh man, dual PCs, I've just never been a fan of having to run just 2 systems when you could easily get a capture card for cheaper. Like, I understand that I did overload the graphics card because I am using NVENC right now, and I was playing Throne and Liberty at pretty high settings at 1440p ultra wide, so that it did not like that. But just getting a capture card would help dramatically. It's a bit of a headache to start up, but it works great now. I do understand like the benefits of dual PC streaming, because if for whatever reason this PC crashes, I'm done for. The stream ends, or at least it goes dead. And if I don't get back in time to continue it, the stream becomes like another event. So in that respect, I understand why it's good, but I don't want to deal with the headache of having to, go on this system to set up the stream and then go on this system to do stuff and going between 2 systems and having potentially 2 monitors. There's probably some programs you can use to share 1 monitor with 2 systems, but I don't want to deal with that either. So yeah, I'm for the most part a simple person. Itra, thanks for hanging out in the short stream, all stream. You're one of the few who do that, and you are a newer name, so hope to see you in future streams. Yeah, mouse without borders, where you can use the same keyboard and mouse between the different systems. Yeah. Did Linus cover that? I forgot where I saw that. They might have been a sponsor, or they might have been in a video, but yeah, I've heard of that program. But again, just the setup process and having to have another system set up, turned on, like plugged in next to me. Too much. Uh-oh. How's the stream quality now? YouTube is telling me something is going weird. Is the stream smooth right now? Because both YouTube and OBS, even though I've completely closed out of Throne and Liberty, they're telling me that I might want to change my settings because viewers might be experiencing choppiness. How do I like gaming on ultra wide? I love it. I don't think... What is the argument that people have for not gaming on ultra wide? Is it because there's too much to see and you get distracted by stuff in your peripherals? If that's the case, for that specific game, turn it to 16:9 with black bars on the side. Who cares? And then when you go back to playing your single player games, that doesn't matter as much, and you want to see a big, beautiful, immersive world, play ultra wide. Like with the ultra wide, you could do both things. With the 16:9, you can't magically get ultra wide. So I don't understand that argument that people have. It cut out? No! OBS messed up. Oh, is it still good on the short stream? It is still good. What's going on? Or not. Okay, but we gotta end anyways. Arfa, I'm trying to cook pork shoulder with cracklings on the trail tomorrow? What? I don't even know what that means. But alright guys, I gotta end the stream. Why did yeah, that's really weird. Y'all have a good night. I'll try to figure this out for next stream.